Welcome to Shomach Shavan and Dav Shir sponsor Lunishvas Army Akashom Napas Yitzchok. We're holding Basra Dav Kuf Yud. The Gemara Mudalev concludes the story with Yehonasan, the grandson of Moshe Rabbeinu, that at the end, David HaMelech saw that his money is chaviv aloy, so he made him Memuneh aloy tzoros. And the Gemara concludes and says that his name is Shavuel. The Novi calls him Shavuel because Shav Lakel Lebechoy Liboy. He did a full tshuva. The Rashbam brings the Yerushalmi Maseches Brachos that says that once David HaMelech was nifter and Shlomo HaMelech was in charge, he removed Yehonasan for being in charge of Neitzoros, and Yehonasan went back to the Avodah of Micha. And he brings a story that he told people that Micha doesn't really help, but he was the priest over there in the Avodah of Micha. So the Chor's Tamuah Me'oid. The Gemara says, Sheshav Lakel B'chor Liboy, he did a full tshuva. Similarly, he didn't do a full tshuva. He got a better job, but once the job was over, he went back to Avodah. So Ben Yehoyada already answers his question and says, he went back, but he went back and told everybody that Avodah is not really worth anything. As the Rashbam points out, he told them, well, why are you giving food to Avodah? Anywhere Avodah cannot help you. So that means they didn't really use the Avodah, didn't really believe in Avodah at all. So that's not considered to be they really went back to Avodah. Another mahalach seems to be what Reb Tzadok HaKohen is trying to say in Tzidkas HaTzadik. Because Reb Tzadok says over there that whenever a person knows that he has a specific tendency for something which is wrong, the biggest tshuva he could do is to recognize that tendency is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave him in order to challenge him. So a person has a taiva for something, and he recognizes by doing full tshuva, saying, because this taiva that I have, HaKadosh Baruch Hu put it in me because that's my challenge, and I have to overcome it, that's the biggest tshuva possible. He brings our Gemara, and he says that's what it means, Sheshav Lachel B'choy Liboy. He did tshuva with all his heart. He took that taiva that he needs, money, and he recognized that that's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave him as a challenge. And that's what it means, Shav Lakel B'chol Liboy, his whole heart, all his tendencies, all his taivas, all the things that are wrong by him, he recognized it comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that's a reference over here that Shav Lakel, even though maybe then he went bad again. But the Chura, the Poshup Shat, Be'oimek, what the Gemara is telling us over here, and this Gemara is learned the day after Yom Kippur, is very matim to this day. And this I saw that Chanoich Karelinstein on his Zaharis brings this Nakuda. The Rambam in Hilchos Teshuvah, Perek Beis Halacha Beis, says something which seems to be very, very difficult to do. The Rambam says that what is the definition of Teshuvah? Sheyoid alav yodea talumos shelo yashuv lezachet lo'olam. There will be a testimony from Yodea Talumos, who's Yodea Talumos HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that he will never return to this chet again. L'chura, this is something which is impossible to implement. How can it be that you have tshuva and you know you'll never go back to this chet? And furthermore, let's say one did a full tshuva, and 20 years later he was nechshal in a chet. You want to tell me that his original tshuva was not a good tshuva? That doesn't make any sense. So already the Rabbi Yisrael Salanter quoted in the Koich V'Or, in his Talmud, Yitzchak Blazer, he brings this question, and he points out, he says, no, it doesn't mean that there will be a yediyah vadois, you'll never do this chet forever. But what it means is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu can testify on him right now, that in the state that he is at this current moment, he will never ever do this chet again based on where he's holding right now. And the same halach is brought down in Reb Tzadok HaKohen and also in the Bnei Yissaschar, they all say the same nekuda. That Yodea Talumos Meidol means Meidol his current status. That right now, based on where he is at this current moment, he will never do the chet again. And the emes, this is what the Kesef Mishnah and the Lechem Mishnah on the Rambam say. Because what does it mean, Ya'id Alav Yodea Talumos? They explain that he takes HaKadosh Baruch Hu as an aid, as a witness. Like we have Ya'id Alav Shamayim V'Aretz. He's made all of it. I mean, takes HaKadosh Baruch Hu to be his witness, to testify that he really accepted on himself this Kabbalah, not to go back to this chet forever. That his Kabbalah right now is a full Kabbalah. What's going to happen later, even if it can happen right after. If he's nichshal afterwards, that doesn't take away from the tshuva that he did before, which was a full tshuva. And Reb Chanoich Karelinstein Zatzal is pointing it over here to explain that what happened with Yehonasan. Yehonasan did do Teshuvah b'chol liboy. It was a full Teshuvah. But then, when he was fired from his job, he was nechshel again and went back to work for Pesamicha. That doesn't take away from the fact that his original Teshuvah was a Teshuvah b'chol liboy. And this seems to be the emes pshat in the Gemara, that this is what the message of the Gemara is. If a person did a full Teshuvah b'chol liboy, and then afterwards he was nechshel, it doesn't take away from his Teshuvah. Because at the moment we did Teshuvah, you really meant it, that it should be an everlasting Teshuvah. Anyone who wants to join the Shomachshava email list to Hotzugo, please email shomachshava@gmail.com.